Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be cooperatively defusing bombs that are on a ship. Now today we're going to go over just the rules of how to play Fuse. This is a 1 to 5 player. It is a timed game. It takes exactly 10 minutes from Renegade Games. Today we're going to do a rule school and show you how to play. Essentially you're going to be able to skip the rule book, watch this video, and dive right in. So let's take a look. Fuse is a cooperative game in real time that takes exactly 10 minutes to play, and you'll be trying to defuse as many bombs as you can. Over the course of the game, you'll be following some certain rules on the cards to try to put specific dice. Sometimes you'll be building pyramids, and other times you'll be building big stacks of die. You're moving fast because it's timed, but don't knock it over because then they all have to go back in the bag. To defuse bombs, sometimes you'll be following rules for colors and mathematics, as well as making some dice larger and smaller than others in order to defuse bombs. And even when you're successful, when new bombs come out, sometimes you'll get a fuse and people will have to lose more dice. And it's all tracked with an online free app from Renegade's Game Studio, which helps you keep time, puts a little fun into it, and allows you to keep score. Clear the last bomb and you win. But think quick and cooperate with your friends, because if you can't use a die, it gets rolled, and you must remove a die from one of your bombs that matches a color or number. The first thing you'll do in setup is separate out the fuse cards and the bomb cards. The fuse cards have numbers 1 through 6, and all 5 colors of the die. Also, from the bomb cards, you'll want to separate out 5 cards that have a number 6 in the top right corner. These are extremely difficult cards, and we recommend you don't start playing with these. Now, making sure that these fuse cards are still separated and outside on their own, you're going to shuffle the bomb cards, and you're going to give 2 to each player. Here, we have 4 players. Each of them have 2 cards. If the first card of anybody is a 4 or a 3, their second card must be a 1 or a 2. This is just to make sure that nobody starts the game with 2 cards that are both 3s or 4s. Now, from those bomb cards, we're going to create a deck with a certain amount of cards depending on the number of players and the difficulty. Now we're playing with 4 players here and we want to do a training mission. So in this deck we have just placed 19 cards of those bomb cards. The rest of the cards that were in that big stack just get put back in the box. You won't need them for this game. And as you can see, there's more cards depending on the amount of players and which mission you want. Training, standard, expert, elite, or insane. And from that deck you just built, you will then place face up 5 bomb cards. Do you remember those fuse cards we set aside earlier? What you'll do is you're going to shuffle these on their own and then add 6 to this bomb deck, and then you're going to shuffle this bomb deck all together so that there's 6 random fuse cards mixed within this bomb deck. Next, you'll take all 25 dice and place them inside the fuse bag. And I highly recommend at this point to download the Renegade Game Studio's companion app. This can be found on Android and iOS. Don't look for Fuse, look for Renegade Game Studio's companion app. Download this. This will be a specific 10-minute timer for Fuse. You can use any 10-minute timer you like, but this one is much more interactive and will make your experience a lot more fun. Here's the app in motion. You basically just select a personality voice or a basic voice. I recommend the personality voice, it's much more fun. You have a 10-minute timer, and once you start it, it will start.
Enemy activity detected on board. 10 minutes to total ship destruction.
And it will continue to talk to you throughout, and you'll just keep this going. And this will run the entire time. If for some reason you need to pause it, you can do so. Now let's get into how a round works. Now Fuse is real time. It's played without stopping and through that 10-minute timer. And one person is going to have this bag, and they will take out the amount of dice equal to the amount of players. And this is for a 3 to 5 player game. They would take out, in this case, 4 dice, because we have 4 people, and they would roll them in front of everybody. Now, if they take out more dice than what's needed by accident, they throw them all back in the bag, and they deal up to the amount of players. So you can take out less if you want to be sure. Maybe you take out 2 at a time, or 1 at a time, but you're trying to go as fast as you can. Now that the dice are there, all 4 players are talking about which dice they'd like to take, or which of the dice are the only ones they can take, because each player has to take no more than 1 die and 1 die exactly, and that's with 3 to 5 players. So here this player has, every player has 2 bomb cards, and they're trying to figure out where to place them. And most cards don't matter which order you put them in, some of them do. In this case, they can put this in any order. This could be any color, number 5, any number yellow die, or exactly a green 2. And on his second card, this is sort of a pyramid. The bottom 2, you'd put the 6 of any color. The bottom right of the pyramid, you'd put a 5 of any color. And on top of the pyramid, you'd put a 4. So this one, you either have to play a 6 or a 5 first of any color, and that there. So from these dice, literally the only one that this person could place is this black 6, because they could place this here like this. So they say, hey, look guys, the only one I can place is the black 6. I'm going to place it there because they don't have a 5 here. There's not a 5. There's no yellow, and there's no green tooth. So that's the only one they can place. And they'd really tell everyone, hey, I really need this. Well, this player also says, wow, the only die I could have used was a 6. So we're kind of in a tough spot because this guy could use a 6 of any color, a 5 of any color, or a 1 of any color. And this one, anytime you see a line going across, this means they're going to stack up on top of each other. And the order is, it has to be any yellow die, then a red, then a blue, and then a green. So over multiple rounds, this player would be trying to place a yellow, a red, a blue, and then a green, and that would complete this bomb. Now, if any time one of these stacked ones fall over, you have to take them all and put them back in the bag. But in this case, yellow's first, can't do any of those, and we don't have a 6, 5, or 1. So this player is going to get stuck. Let's look at the other players. Now this player can play either any black die or any color number 1, any black or any color number 2, any black, any color number 3. In this case, it's a pyramid. The bottom is either going to be a green or a 3. So they have a bunch of options. They could literally use any one of these die, but maybe they grab the 3 and they place it there. It could have been any color 3 and they're starting their pyramid. Remember, all this is happening simultaneously. Everyone's talking about which die they should take or what they can take while the time is ticking. Now this one is another one of those stack ones, but this says, hey, each number that you stack on top has to be greater than the other number. So putting a 4 here isn't good because the lowest number you could put here is a 3. It would be a 3, then a 4, then a 5, then a 6. And so neither of those numbers would work there. But we can place a number here. This says any color number. Or pretty much anything can go here. But once I place this die here, my next die has to equal this, either a number or color. So the next die would have to be either a 4 of any color or a green of any number. Now remember, each player needs to take one and only one with 3 to 5 players of the dice. And this one's left over because this player did not play it. So this die will get rolled. And any player that has either a black or a 1 has to take one die off their board. So this is a 4 and a green, it's safe. This is a 3 and a green, it's safe. This is a black. So this die and this die will get taken off and will be put back in the fuse bag. Now, if there were 2 dice that were not being able to be placed, let's say it was like this, and let's just say these were not able to be placed, then in any order these would get rolled. So we would roll this. This is a 6 or a black. These 2 are safe. And then this one would get rolled. 2 are black, and those are safe. Just these would go back in the bag. This fuse bag would then pass to the next player, where they would start a whole new round. Remember, the time is ticking, and they would take out 4 new dice, and they would roll them out like that. Now, when the next set of dice come out, let's say this player is able to play this. Remember, they just need to equal the number or the color, and they get this. They would complete their bomb, and this is what happens. They would take the completed dice and throw them in the fuse bag. They would then take this and place it near themselves face down. These will score points later. They then take any one of the 5 bomb cards that are up there and they place it in front of themselves, and then they flip a new bomb card. Notice I chose an easy bomb card because I already have a 4. If you have a 3 or a 4, it's usually a good idea to take a 1 or a 2 because you don't want to be working on 2 hard bombs at a time. Now, if when replacing the bomb card, one of these fuse cards comes up that we shuffled in at the beginning of the game, this gets resolved just as if a die was not able to be placed at the end of a round. So this, everybody has to remove a 2 if they can, 1, 2. And so here on the board, we see this player would have to get rid of his 2, and this would go back in the fuse bag. If it were maybe they're all either numbers or they're colors, sometimes you'll have to get rid of a color. Everyone that can see a green one would get rid of it. So this player would have to get rid of his green 3 back in the fuse bag. Now let's say a 2 fuse came out. This player actually had played a 2 yellow on his pyramid, but a red die was on top of it. When the 2 comes out, it's only the dice you can see. So because all they can see is a 1 red, they would not need to get rid of the 2 below it. Once a fuse card is resolved, just take it out of the side of the game. I'd say just place it next to the deck. Usually will score you points later, and then take another one. If it's another fuse card, resolve it again. Otherwise, that's the next bomb that's available for people to take. This will continue till one of two things happens. You win, and how you do that is by clearing all the bombs. Now remember, there was a fuse deck here, but over the course of the game, we've emptied them all out, and there's only two middle bomb cards that people can take next. Let's say this player finishes this card, and they take this bomb. And let's say this player gets this card, and this happens. As soon as this is cleared, you win the game. You do not need to get rid of the two cards in front of you. You just need to clear all the bomb cards to win the game. Or you'll lose by not clearing out all the bombs before the time expires.
Next time, invite smart round.
Ouch. And whether you've won or lost, you'll be getting a score. The app actually helps you calculate that score by answering a bunch of questions. It will give you a final score. And later on, it actually has a section that you can look at all your high scores from previous. If you're not using the app, you can manually tabulate the score on the back of the rulebook. And if you're tabulating it manually, you'll get 10 points if you won. You'll also get 1 point for every full 10 seconds left on the clock if you won. You'll get the total points of all the numbers of all the cards that all the bombs that you've defused. And you'll get 2 points for each of the fuse cards that you went through and activated. Now I've showed you some of the cards and what the icons mean. Let's run through a few more. This one obviously needs to be a 4 of any color. The next one has to be smaller than this, but any color, and then smaller than that one in any color. This one is any color, but then it has to equal that color, equal that color, equal that color. So whatever color you put first has to be the same all the way through. Those are the same thing, but they cannot be the same. 1, 2, so you have 4 different colors there of any value. Here is going to be 2 dies of the same color, 2 dies of the same number, but they could be any color. Here we have a red or a black, plus a blue or a 2 of any number has to equal a 7. Here we have this die minus that die has to equal a 2, and they can be any color. Here you add these two, and they have to equal these two, and they can be any colors. This die has to equal this die, which also has to equal this die, but this one has to be blue. This is a pyramid, and when you see question marks, it literally can be any die. So it's any 2 die stacked, then a 1 yellow, then any 2 on top of it. This is any color and number has to equal this color and number. So basically whatever die you put here, the exact same die has to go there. And this one is you put any number and you put a number here, and this one has to be smaller than both of those numbers. Well, I hope that allowed you to dive right into the game, skipping the rulebook. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and leave them here as comments. I'll do my best to answer them. We'll see you next time.